Tonight, Encampment Reprieve.
To see this result is amazing for our clients, and it's amazing for people that are experiencing homelessness in our communities.
The region loses another legal bid to clear the site of a future transit hub. The judge's decision and
the craziest decision I've ever heard. But there's a lot of crazy decisions coming from our courts lately.
The Premier's reaction. Flight plan.
The airport is not achieving its full potential as a driver of economic activity in our region. In fact, it is slowly declining.
Why behind-the-scenes talks have been underway to carve out a path for the future of the Brantford Airport. Plus, it starts tonight. The Kitchener Rangers hours away from their debut at the 2026 Memorial Cup.
Good evening. The region of Waterloo has lost its latest legal attempt to clear out an encampment in downtown Kitchener. An 88-page judge's decision shared yesterday by Waterloo Region Community Legal Services, who represented encampment residents, halts the plan to evict those living on the site, which the region and the province want to use for a new transit hub. Let's get right over to CTV's Colton Weens now live for more on the judge's ruling and reaction, including, Colton, you spoke today with the lawyer representing encampment residents.
Yeah, that's right, Tony. Waterloo Region Community Legal Services lawyer Ashley Skydema tells me she's excited by this decision. A judge ruling yesterday that the bylaw the region wanted to use to clear the encampment is unconstitutional, and saying the region has to come up with a new plan for the residents before it can try to clear the site again.
To see this result is amazing for our clients, and it's amazing for people that are experiencing homelessness in our communities.
In an 88-page decision, Ontario's Superior Court of Justice has ruled a regional bylaw to clear the Victoria Street encampment in downtown Kitchener is unconstitutional, a decision the legal group representing encampment residents is welcoming.
There's no space where people can legally tent, right? So the Code of Use bylaw exists for all regional property, and then all the lower tier municipalities, they all have their own bylaws that are similar that say you can't set up tents anywhere. So there's nowhere where people can go legally.
Regional Council introduced a bylaw last spring aiming to clear the site at Victoria and Weber to turn it into a staging ground for a future transit hub. The region maintained all original encampment residents had moved into shelter, were given housing options, or left the site on their own. And anyone who moved in after the bylaw didn't meet the definition of a resident. But lawyers for residents disagreed.
They've certainly done a lot, but we're in a crisis and the problem continues. The court also said we can't take an ostrich approach, right? So it's not enough to just put your head in the sand and say, well, we have enough spaces for these 40 people. We don't care about anybody else.
Justice Michael Gibson's written decision saying in part the encampment is currently the only place in the region where it's not illegal for homeless people to set up a tent or structure, and the region is not prepared to allow homeless people to shelter outdoors anywhere on region property. Justice Gibson recommended the region create an alternative encampment location nearby, a safe tenting protocol, or lawful designated encampment zones before it can come back to the court for guidance on the site.
Spaces where people they know they can go to tent, but the municipality has the ability to designate those spaces. So if they don't want encampments near a school or in a park, they can pick which land they want the encampments to be on. They can also develop the size of the encampment.
The region says it's reviewing the decision, saying in an email, "We remain committed to providing outreach and supports to those experiencing homelessness across the region."
It's the most ridiculous ruling I've ever seen.
Meanwhile, the Premier said today he's spoken with the regional chair, several mayors, and Ontario's Attorney General about the decision.
Don't get me wrong, I have a great deal of respect for our judge's Supreme Court, but he comes out with this cockamamie idea that they're going to hold up an encampment, they're going to hold up transit. So for 30 people? We'll give them shelter and take care of these folks, but the judge is saying that we got to hold up projects and everything? I wish I could get that guy's address. I'll send 50 encampments in his backyard and see how he likes it.
Ashley Skydema says she hopes the Premier will work with the region to find solutions and respect the court's ruling. Meanwhile, Regional Chair Karen Redmond said it's critical for all levels of government to work together on solutions, while Kitchener's mayor saying a short time ago he's disappointed with the court ruling and that a lot has been invested into trying to work with encampment residents on shelter and housing solutions. In the meantime, it's unclear what all of this means for the timing of the new transit hub, which Metrolinx wanted to start work on this spring. Tony.
Okay, Colton, thank you so much. CTV's Colton Weens with new reporting on what is now a 5-year discussion over that encampment. Appreciate it. Well, we are expecting to learn more next week about the future of the Brantford Municipal Airport and the land on which it sits. It's currently the subject of provincially mediated talks, and some people in the community are raising concerns about potential changes and what it could mean for people who live in the area as the discussions are happening behind closed doors. CTV's Krista Simpson has details.
Pretty much everybody agrees the airport is not achieving its full potential as a driver of economic activity in our region. In fact, it is slowly declining.
The Brantford Municipal Airport is owned by the city, but the land on which it sits is in Brant County, something that makes it difficult to expand and revitalize the airport, says Brantford Mayor Kevin Davis.
In this case, City of Brantford, we don't receive the property taxes, the development charges, the permitting fees, the utility charges, all those charges that make it financially possible for a municipality to make those investments.
The mayor says that efforts were made over the past 5 or 6 years to reach some sort of agreement with Brant County on a way forward, but they weren't successful. Late last year, at the request of the airport board, Brantford City Council voted to ask for provincial assistance to look at bringing the airport lands into the city. In March, it was announced a provincial facilitator had been appointed to help with discussions.
A facilitator can't impose an arrangement. He is there as a mediator to help the two cities, city and county, see if they can arrive at an agreement that would have the airport in the city. And so that's what's been happening.
The County of Brant declined to provide an interview, but gave a statement to CTV News that says, in part, verbal offers had been made numerous times to negotiate on the airport lands. They also say the city also used the threat of amalgamation, as well as extending discussions for lands beyond the airport border. These further complicated discussions and again created unnecessary tensions. Going on to say the county believes in equitable and respectful collaboration with all our neighbours. Had this been approached differently in a fair and transparent manner, the outcome likely would have been far more efficient and productive for all involved. Brantford's mayor denies that threats were made, saying the city's goal has always been to find a solution that's agreeable to both the city and the county. Meantime, some in the community are also raising concerns about how this process has unfolded, the mediated talks that are currently behind closed doors, and the potential impact on Brant County property owners who live near the airport.
People are extremely scared about potentially living in the county, and there could be an opportunity where they're going to turn into part of the city of Brantford. There's taxation issues, there's municipal planning, there's all types of things that have not been addressed with the public.
Travis Welch founded the Brant Civic Accountability Association earlier this year, concerned about public consultation for major municipal decisions.
The public has not been notified about this. They have no understanding of what type of boundary changes may occur. And furthermore, ultimately, this is something that is being expedited in a very fast manner.
Welch says that decisions should be left to the next councils that will be elected in October.
Let new incoming mayors and council make these decisions, because at this point in time, the public has no idea what's going on.
Davis says if there is an agreement that comes out of the provincially facilitated discussions, there will be a full public consultation process as mandated by the Municipal Act.
So individuals who are concerned will have many opportunities, at least 2, a minimum of 2, and many more if they have a dialogue with city staff, for residents both in the city and the county to express any concerns or support for what may or may not be proposed.
An announcement on the outcome of the facilitated discussions is expected next week. Krista Simpson, CTV News, Brant County.
Time for a first look at the weather. Ashley's in studio with all of the details. And if I could just say, I don't want to talk about tomorrow.
Then let's talk about today, Tony.
Let's do that.
It was not too bad out there. The sun was trying to shine through the cloud cover through most of the day. But there is one thing that maybe everyone didn't love. It was a bit windy out there today.
It was quite breezy, yeah.
And because of that wind, it felt even cooler than it was. So we had a pretty similar day today than we did yesterday. About 15 degrees was our daytime high. That cloud cover was on and off, but predominantly sunny conditions and no precipitation. But with that added wind, it did make things feel just a little bit cooler. Now, if we pay attention to our radar, we're not seeing much in the way of activity for Waterloo region at the moment. But as you look a little bit south and a little bit west to us, rain is on the way. We are looking at a pretty wet Saturday and likely Sunday as well. As we take a look at what's happening right now, it's 14 degrees out there, an east by northeast wind at 35 kilometers an hour. So remaining windy out there, Tony, and remaining cooler, but get out and enjoy it. Maybe go for a nice evening walk tonight because, like I said, rain is on the way. I'll have more on that a little later in the show.
All right, Ash, thank you. We'll talk to you shortly. Damage is described as extensive from a fire that tore through a house in Kitchener overnight. Crews were called to the home on Wilfrid Avenue in the Stanley Park neighborhood just after midnight. They contained the flames before they could spread to nearby houses. The home was undergoing renovations and was unoccupied. No injuries and no one was displaced. The cause is yet to be determined. And crews are still on the scene of a major fire at the Rona on Highway 21 in Grand Bend. The store is near the intersection of Lake Road and Ontario Street South. Residents in a nearby subdivision have been told to close their windows and to shelter in place. There's no word yet on the cause of this fire or a damage estimate. The provincial NDP is calling on the Ford government to eliminate the HST on food and drinks in grocery stores. The party will introduce a motion at Queen's Park next week calling for the change. It's calling for the removal of the tax on prepackaged or pre-made foods. NDP leader Marit Stiles says a similar move has already been made in Manitoba.
I want to be very clear. This isn't a shot in the dark. Wapkanu's NDP government in Manitoba has shown us that we can rein in those big grocery giants and make life more affordable for hardworking families. All it takes is a premier with the will to act. So for Doug Ford, this is a chance to reverse course. He can take this simple, immediate action to make life more affordable for the people of Ontario, or he can keep being the premier of billionaires and grocery giants while Ontario families are just trying to keep their heads above water.
Stiles did not say how much her proposal would save the average family. On another political front, Alberta Premier Danielle Smith spoke with reporters today, less than 24 hours after announcing people in the province will vote on whether to hold a referendum about separating from Canada. Reaction has been swift. Federal political leaders and premiers from other provinces stressing the importance of Alberta remaining in Canada. CTV's Rachel Aiello is tracking the fallout.
Facing the prospect of Albertans voting to separate from Canada. Today, the Prime Minister said the country, much like the Parliament Hill renovations he toured, is a work in progress.
Canada's working. We're working in a spirit of cooperative federalism to make the country better. We're renovating the country as we go, and Alberta being at the center of that is essential.
The question Albertans will be asked on October 19th is a wordy one. Should Alberta remain a province of Canada, or should the government of Alberta commence the legal process required under the Canadian Constitution to hold a binding provincial referendum on whether or not Alberta should separate from Canada? Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre said he and his party will fight for a united country.
We're going to reach out to Albertans in every corner of the province to make the case for our wonderful country, and we're going to do it through hope. We want Albertans to understand that they can have an even better future in our country.
While Premier Danielle Smith has insisted she's committed to a united country, the NDP's sole Alberta MP accused her of stoking division.
She made a choice to put that referendum question on the ballot, and I think it's a huge, huge mistake. This is not what Albertans need right now.
The Premier of Canada's most populous province also didn't hold back.
I'd never do it. Premier Smith knows how I feel. She wants to, I guess, protect her 30% base. It's not going to win as far as I'm concerned. It'd be a disaster for Alberta.
The federal opposition voices we heard from today said that while all sides need to fight for Alberta to stay, Ottawa also has to swiftly address Albertans' legitimate economic concerns beyond building a pipeline, because much like the Centre Block renovations, that is going to take years to complete. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
It's been closed for years, but it's become somewhat of a landmark. And now a time-frozen symbol of the Golden Arches is up for sale in downtown Kitchener. We'll have more on that coming up.
And Wilmont residents say their wells are running dry. Concerns over the current appeals process when it comes to problems with private wells and what's being done to overhaul it. That's also coming up.
Well, cooler temperatures and rain is on the way. Just how much and when it'll all be here, those details broken down with your full forecast coming up.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We go to a dramatic scene unfolding.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. CTVKitchener.ca, your home for news. When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Waterloo Region is one step closer to bringing back an independent appeals committee for problems with private wells. It's become a growing concern in Wilmont, where some report low pressure, sediment-filled water, even wells running dry. CTV's Spencer Turcotte joining us now with more. Spencer, this comes after Wilmot's mayor made a new push to her regional council colleagues.
And Tony, it seems that other regional councillors agreed. The motion passed unanimously, meaning staff will now be looking at the best ways to reestablish an appeals committee.
This is water that came out of my water heater.
Residents in Wilmont Township say problems with their private wells have become increasingly common amid the region of Waterloo's ongoing water capacity crisis.
We have local families who have lost water for weeks in the dead of winter. People are taking their laundry into the city. They're showering at community centers.
Wilmont Township Mayor Natasha Salonen says uncertainty over water access means some families are facing tough decisions.
For example, washing a load of laundry or having a shower because they aren't certain that there's going to be enough water.
Concerns are centered around municipal pumping wells in Wilmont. Residents believe increased water taking may be affecting nearby private wells.
Residents need emergency water in the interim while the regional staff prepare their report. And at this point, no residents have been provided emergency water to get by.
Under the current policy, if something goes wrong, residents file complaints with the region, which investigates whether the issue is linked to municipal pumping. If a resident disagrees with the findings, appeals are also handled internally through the region's water commissioner.
The water takers are holding all the data. They are the regional staff is the judge, the jury, and the decider.
It's exactly why Salonen brought forward a motion this week which passed unanimously, asking staff to look into bringing back an independent appeals process, including a committee similar to one the region used before 2015.
We need to be making sure that everybody in the region has access to water, and those residents on private wells in Wilmont are a part of the region.
The motion also calls for a review of the region's current compensation cap of $4,000 for affected homeowners.
$4,000 doesn't even really cover the human labor involved in fixing these well problems.
The proposed changes could also allow residents who previously filed complaints to have their cases reviewed again once a new appeal system is in place.
Regional staff are expected to bring back recommendations on what that new appeals committee could look like at a meeting scheduled for August 12th. And Tony, some residents say that date can't come soon enough.
Okay, we'll keep watching that. Spencer, thank you. CTV's Spencer Turcotte with that update for us. It was once a fast food staple. Now it's become a bit of a curiosity. An old McDonald's restaurant in downtown Kitchener is up for sale for $5.2 million. The abandoned building sits at King Street and Moore Avenue. It stopped operating as a McDonald's back in 2015, but the iconic red-roofed structure is still standing there. A representative for McDonald's Canada confirmed it is on the market as it still owns the property. According to the listing, the half-acre of land is ready for mixed-use development of up to 28 stories. And the listing states that it's been on the market for 23 days. Pushback in Woodstock today after an Oxford County Council decision to turn a former YMCA into a homelessness support center. As CTV's Brian Bicknell tells us, it was a decision made behind closed doors.
This former YMCA building on Dundas Street in Woodstock is about to be transformed into a homelessness support center.
I call blindsided everybody.
Travis Tews lives directly behind the former Y and says he's upset neighbors were never given the opportunity to provide input.
The grocery carts and everything else that get pushed around. When you see these carts, you see stuff laying on the ground everywhere. There could be needles and stuff. When I go to rake my leaves, I have neighbors with very young kids directly beside me. They're going to step outside. They're going to see the same thing.
Earlier this week, Oxford County announced council approved the building purchase in a closed-door decision last month. Councillor Deb Tate concedes she voted in favor of the property purchase, but became upset when she found out later the transaction would not be considered in open session.
Realizing nobody knew and they weren't going to tell the public, I was like, you can't do business like this. You have to tell people what's going on. So that's my issue. And trust me, I am fully supportive of a new location for the shelter because we know we need one.
The purchase price is $4.55 million. Tate says with renovations, it will go up to $8 million. She says there are no details on expected capacity or who's going to operate the site.
By going into closed session to consider the purchase of property, we've saved taxpayers $580,000 by getting it for less than what we were prepared to pay.
Warden Marcus Ryan saying the county does not negotiate property acquisitions in public. He says he would expect opposition no matter where the site is built.
We need this, but not here. And another group of people, we need it, but not here. And another group of people, we need it, but not here. Council's job is to pick a place. We cannot continuously chase, where is it going to go and find a place that everybody's going to love because it's not going to happen.
The sale is set to close at the end of this month with an opening for the Homelessness Support Center in 2028.
No one in the neighborhood has heard anything about this, and we should have.
Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
Well, back outside we go now for this live look at the Moose. Outside Moose Winooski in Kitchener, just across King Street east from us here in Kitchener's Sports World area. And there's another reason why we are over at Moose Winooski. We'll get to that a little later in the show. But in the meantime, what a great day to be outside, maybe even hitting up a patio if you don't mind a little bit of a breeze and a little bit of a chill in the air. We've got a turn in the weather for tomorrow, though. Ashley's back in with all of those details for us. And then when we can look forward to seeing the sun again. Plus, the pesky problems that come with warmer weather. A reality check on why ticks are a bigger concern as we head toward this summer. And people flagged as risks granted security access at Canada's airports. New reporting in a W5 investigation coming up after this. All right, this is the little conversation we're going to have before we throw to weather.
And you know what, Tony? It's Friday. We made it another week. And although, do you find short weeks feel longer to you?
I definitely found that was the case this week. As we went through this week, there was so much happening every day.
Yes.
It just felt like every day was much longer than the average day, making 4 feel like 8.
It's especially, I don't know about you, but it was so summer-like on Monday and Tuesday. And then that cold front came and Here we are.
It felt like we were still missing the long weekend all week, so that didn't help. But we've got to get through a little bit of a hurdle this weekend as far as the spring weather goes.
A couple more days to get through, and then things are looking up. Let's take another look outside tonight from Sports World Drive, where you can see there that cloud cover is just ever so slight. The sun trying to peek through there. We've had some pretty spectacular sunsets over the last few days, and hopefully Mother Nature will grant us another one tonight. And if she does, get out and enjoy it, because we are in for a wet weekend. And of course, unfortunately, those cooler temperatures are expected to stick around at least for another couple of days. Let's get right into it. We'll start with our future cast here. We are seeing this cloud cover at the moment. Now, by the morning hours, we're going to start to see this system push through the region. It will start to get heavier as the day goes on, with the potential for thunder showers near Windsor. But here in Waterloo region, we're not expected to get thunder showers. We are going to see around 10 to 15 millimeters of rain. Now, that's going to continue all the way into Saturday, from Saturday into Sunday. And then on Sunday, we will still see some showers. It might likely be as consistent, but there is still shower activity expected. Right now, though, across the country, get out and enjoy it. It's beautiful on the West Coast. 22 in Vancouver with a mix of sun and cloud. On the other side of the Rockies, 21 in Edmonton. And as we move through the prairie provinces, a very nice day in Saskatoon, 19 degrees. Yellowknife, 18 with a mix of sun and cloud. Winnipeg, a little cloudier there, but still sitting comfortably at 21. As we push through east, where Ottawa and Montreal sitting at 20 degrees, the sun trying to peek through there still, which is great news for them. And on the east coast, slightly cooler there. Corner Brook, 30 degrees. Labrador City at just 2. So things here, though, in Waterloo region cooling off a bit. 14. We are sitting at 14 right now. Most of southern Ontario sitting in that mid-teen range for temperature. Overnight, now this is where things have been a bit different. Now, we aren't expected to get as cool as we did over the last couple of nights. 10 is the expected overnight low, but as we know, partly cloudy conditions moving in with rain. In the easterly wind at 30 kilometers an hour is expected. That wind is also expected to last into Saturday. 12 degrees as a daytime high, so only increasing a couple of degrees from our overnight low for your daytime high tomorrow, and of course with it the rain. So as I mentioned earlier in the 5 o'clock program with Leanne, it might be a good weekend to catch up on some movies or a show that you might want to binge, even maybe put on the fireplace for the day. As we take a closer look at what we're supposed to have, 21 degrees this time of year, so not quite there yet, but look at our 7-day forecast. We are going to see it soon. The weekend will bring with it rain, as we know, and temperatures are starting to increase at least by Sunday. Monday we'll see 21, and then by Tuesday things really coming together. Sunshine and mid-20 degree forecast. Love it. In Lambton, Kent, Essex, similar. You might be seeing a afternoon thunder shower tomorrow. Showers continuing on and off through the weekend, and then a beautiful week ahead with high 20s there. Southern Georgian Bay, similar, a little cooler there, and then a mix of sun and cloud to start your work week. So get those umbrellas handy and then get the sunscreen on standby. Let's take a look at today's Weather Watch pictures sent in from Don, who snapped this sunset shot in Cambridge last night. He says after a beautiful spring day, we were treated to a spectacular afterglow, and I couldn't agree more.
Oh, I would say for sure that's a great afterglow. Yeah, we've had actually some, despite everything this week, the cooler conditions, the wind, the cloud at times, we've actually had some great sunsets.
Stunning sunsets, and we've seen so many photos come in. Keep sending them in. They're beautiful. We love to see them, and absolutely gorgeous colors there.
We will share as many as we can. Yes. You got it. Okay, Ash, thank you.
Thank you.
W5 has obtained exclusive data that shows thousands of people who work at Canadian airports have been granted security clearances despite being flagged for potential risks. One of them is a suspect in Canada's largest ever gold heist at Pearson Airport. W5's Avery Haynes has more.
This happened inside Canada's busiest airport. Tens of millions of dollars in gold and currency is just loaded onto a truck and driven away. An audacious heist that police say relied on airport insiders. 2 Air Canada employees are among the 9 people accused in the 2023 heist. We've learned that one of them, Parmpal Sidhu, was flagged in 3 separate drug investigations at the airport dating back decades. We got our hands on a sensitive intelligence document that accuses Sidhu of being the leader of an international drug trafficking ring, moving large loads of drugs through Pearson Airport and infiltrating legitimate government organizations for the purpose of carrying out their criminal activities. Now, that was in 2012. We don't know if that information was ever shared with his employer, but we do know that Sidhu kept his job and his security clearance right up until the gold heist in 2023.
Our job is to identify those potential corrupt employees that are enabling organized crime groups.
Ulysses Botello is a retired RCMP officer. Now he's a whistleblower. It was his job to warn Transport Canada about airport employees who should have their security clearances revoked. He says his recommendations were repeatedly ignored.
If you want to associate with organized crime, if you want to engage in illicit activity, you can do many other things without having that restricted airside card.
Are you telling me that you have actually flagged employees who have connections to organized crime to Transport Canada and they have maintained their past security?
It happens.
It happens is a very concerning answer.
Of course it is.
We collected exclusive data from Transport Canada showing 125,000 security clearances were approved at Canada's 4 major airports over a 5-year period. A staggering 7,500 employees were flagged as having some kind of security issue, but were given clearance anyway.
The numbers that are being presented to Transport Canada that are of concern versus the numbers that are being allowed to retain the restricted airside cards are concerning to me.
Botello says he's also concerned that he never could find out how many were high-threat employees.
Nobody can give me a straight answer as to how many of those numbers were mission critical. In other words, enablers of organized crime. I couldn't get that information.
Despite repeated requests, Transport Canada would not categorize the level of threat of those granted security passes. In a statement, they write, adverse information does not automatically equate to a transportation security risk. Avery Haynes, CTV News, Toronto.
Some relief, but will it last? We are taking the temperature on the gas price situation as we head into another weekend, right after this.
5K a day is back on 105.3 Virgin Radio. Listen to Jeff KP and Backstage Ben for your chance to win $5,000 every weekday. 5K a day, Virgin Radio.
Well, there is some relief for drivers at the pumps to kick off the weekend. Gas prices fell by roughly 9 cents overnight. Canadians for Affordable Energy President Dan McTagg says the cost of gas is expected to drop another 4 cents tomorrow. So that would bring prices down to around $1.80 a litre at most stations in the GTA.
Markets are reacting, within a microsecond to any rumor or comment that's made by President Trump or comments regarding the potential for a ceasefire or a peace agreement. All this week, we've been talking about, prices dropping as a result of what could be a clearing in the Strait of Hormuz someday. Now, we've done this, and I'm counting it, 8 times. Where, the job owning, as they refer to it as by the president or someone within the White House, has markets in a lather, believing everything's going to be fine, and suddenly we realize it isn't.
McTagg is also predicting diesel prices will drop by 5 cents tomorrow. All right, it's time now to recap our top stories. Leanne Evans is in studio with us on this Friday. And Leanne, we have the latest developments on what is now a 5-year-long conversation surrounding the downtown Kitchener encampment.
Yeah, the region of Waterloo has actually lost its latest legal bid to clear the site to make way for a new transit hub. A judge declares the bylaw the region wanted to use to clear the site violates charter rights. The decision dismisses the region's bid and says the eviction cannot go ahead. It also says the region can't come back to the court for further guidance on clearing the site until either a safe tenting protocol is provided or an alternative encampment site is provided in the area. Damage is described as extensive from a fire that tore through a house in Kitchener overnight. Crews were called to the home on Wilfred Avenue in the Stanley Park neighborhood just after midnight, containing the flames before they could spread to nearby homes. The home was undergoing renovations and was unoccupied at the time. No one was hurt. The cause is under investigation.
And looking at what our digital team is working on, I love this because I know it's tough times right now with the economy, but I am planning a lot of road trips this summer, and we've got you covered with some advice.
Yeah, you and me both. I feel like I've spent a lot of time in the car over the past couple of months already. A lot of people also have started their spring and summer road trips, and no road trip is complete without the essentials. That's everything from safety to snacks and so much more. We had Mitchell Alexander, the editor-in-chief of Globetrotting Magazine, here with us to provide us with some travel tips. Full segment is up on our website, ctvnewskitchener.ca. Tony?
I love that because I think a lot of people who may have thought about flying somewhere may be switching to road trips this year. I'm hearing a lot of conversations about that.
We had plenty of ideas there in that segment.
Good stuff. I love it. Leanne, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, tick season is upon us, and this year we are seeing more of the bugs that could carry Lyme disease. CTV's Karis Mapp tells us about the situation in this area and what you can do to protect yourself.
The warmer weather means tick season is back, and this year there's an abundance of them across the province.
Climate change is thought to be the most likely reason for the expansion of the black-legged tick populations. As the weather and climate becomes warmer, more parts of Ontario will become hospitable for ticks.
Animal migration is also adding to the increasing number.
Ticks can become attached to birds and then fall off in Ontario, so you can't find ticks anywhere in Ontario, but there's only certain areas where we know that they have established populations.
Black-legged ticks are most commonly monitored because they can transmit Lyme disease if infected.
So far this year, there have been 152 cases of Lyme disease in Ontario, and this compares to 206 cases in the same time period last year.
Waterloo Region also reporting confirmed cases of Lyme disease.
Currently, we have to date 2 confirmed and 1 probable case in Waterloo Region for 2026. However, none have been reported as locally acquired.
The tick can stay attached for several days at a time, and it takes 24 hours for the bacteria to be transmitted from the belly of the tick into a person's bloodstream.
But symptoms can be subtle.
There's a rash, and sometimes the rash looks like a bullseye, but not always. People may experience like a summer flu, very nonspecific symptoms, aches and pains, headaches.
For Justin Wood, his symptoms were initially diagnosed as post-concussion syndrome in 2011.
Over the course of probably 3 or 4 years following that, I became very, very ill, not just neurological, but sort of whole body symptoms as well, until I was completely incapacitated. I couldn't work, I could hardly walk, I couldn't really take care of myself.
Following a roughly 10-year battle with Lyme disease, Wood is now symptom-free, and the goal for his company, Genetics, is to help others through early detection.
If you or a loved one or an animal has been bit by a tick, you can remove that tick, you can send it to us or drop it off at our location, and then we do testing on the tick to tell you what kind of pathogens that tick was carrying.
Experts say when spending time outdoors, especially in tall grass, it's important to wear long pants and bug spray. Staying along trails and well-maintained paths is also a good idea. Karis Mapp, CTV News, Kitchener.
Well, the Memorial Cup begins in just over 2 hours. The Kitchener Rangers basking in their OHL championship win, all set now to go up against the best in junior hockey for a new trophy. Jeff Pickle checks in with local fans next. The summer concert series at Rogers Stadium in Toronto is set to begin tomorrow. The CTV News chopper was over the venue today, where crews were setting up for the first of 5 shows by Bruno Mars. He's set to take the stage tomorrow night, and with rain in the forecast, Live Nation was reminding people to dress appropriately because those shows are going to go on rain or shine. And people heading to Rogers Stadium for a show this summer are being urged to take transit, as ticket holders will get free TTC rides after each concert. However, getting to Rogers Stadium may be more difficult for those planning on taking the GO train. There will be no service at Downsview Park on May 23rd, 24th, or the 30th. Metrolink says the track will be shut down for expansion work. A new documentary is out about Canadian soccer legend Christine Sinclair called Kind of a Big Deal. CTV's Sean Leathong recently sat down with Sinclair and talked about what it was like to see her career on screen.
She's the all-time leading goal scorer in international soccer history.
Christine Sinclair!
Today, an animated short documentary about the Canadian soccer star's life has been released, titled Christine Sinclair, Kind of a Big Deal.
So what, I just say my name?
I think it's kind of fitting. I like to be in the background and not have the spotlight on me, and people are kind of pushing me into it.
6 World Cups, 4 Olympics, 23 years in red and white.
The 8-minute film is narrated by actor Ryan Reynolds and directed by animator Ian Duffy. Available on YouTube, Apple TV, and Roku, Sinclair wanted her story told in a sharp, fun way that can be easily understood.
So I hope for young kids it's inspirational. I hope for young kids that they learn that the path isn't always like a straight arrow where you want to go. There's ups and downs, and that's okay.
Sinclair scored 190 international goals for Canada, her first coming at age 16.
Everything that could go wrong went wrong.
The film touches on setbacks like failing to win a game at the 2011 World Cup, personal loss in her mother and first soccer coach Sandra due to MS, to the high of winning Olympic gold in 2021. But for the athlete, her greatest moment came here in Canada.
The opening game of the World Cup here in Canada in 2015, you know, walking out in front of 60,000 screaming Canadians, just a moment that, as a female soccer player, I never thought I would have the privilege of experiencing, and getting to experience that with my best friends.
Sinclair scoring the only goal to beat China 1-0, and that proud moment was a milestone for female athletes moving towards a world where women's professional soccer, hockey, and basketball all exist in this country.
It's pretty surreal. I dreamt of that my entire career, to be able to play at home, or as a kid to be able to go watch women play sports. It's pretty crazy that it's here and it's thriving.
And it's a climate she herself helped create, having advocated for equal pay for the men's and women's national team that was finally ratified just last year. Having retired in 2024, Sinclair's part of the ownership group of the Northern Super League's Vancouver Rise. As for the World Cup coming here next month, she's excited to play a different role.
I haven't been able to be a soccer fan, so I'm excited to go to some games and just soak it all in and just become part of the madness that is coming.
Though it is the biggest stage, Christine Sinclair's presence at any international soccer match will surely be noticed because she's kind of a big deal. Sean Leathong, CTV News.
Well, I know someone who's kind of a big deal in our world, and that is Ashley Bacon over at the Weather Wall.
With this guy? I don't know what you're talking about, Tony. What I do know is that it's going to rain tomorrow. We all know that, but we'll go through what we can expect first thing tomorrow morning after this break. Stay with us. Start your night off with E-Talk at 7, followed by The Big Bang Theory, then Celebrity Jeopardy at 8. W5 Avery Haynes investigates at 9, and cap your night off with Boston Blue at 10.
Everybody's got the Friday sillies around here tonight.
Not that we're counting down or anything.
No, not at all. The weekend is upon us. And we're going to have to start it on a little bit of a wet note.
I mean, look, it's one of those things. We are still in spring.
Yes, we are.
Rain is to be expected. And you know what? I'd rather Mother Nature rain this month rather than through June, July, and August.
Our birthdays. No rain on our birthdays.
No, please. Yeah. No. So, yeah, get it out and get it out of the way. Here we go. That's basically what we're going to be looking at tomorrow. Showers and 12 degrees is our daytime high. So reaching that nice and early.
We are June babies, and I feel like I'm usually pretty lucky on my birthday.
Yeah, I would say so. I think I am too. I can't remember too many days or birthdays where it was raining.
Rain, yeah. All right, Memorial Cup starts tonight. The Kitchener Rangers hitting the ice. Their first trip to the tournament since 2008. And boy, oh boy, fans are excited. CTV's Jeff Pickle live at Moose Winooski's. Still a couple hours away till puck drop, Jeff, because of the Western time zone difference.
That's right, Tony. 6 p.m. puck drop in Kelowna means a 9 p.m. puck drop here in Kitchener. So it's a late night for Rangers fans, but places like Moose Winooski's happy to host a watch party for those fans who aren't afraid to stay up a little bit late and want to take this journey with other diehard Rangers fans. So it's been a whole 10 days since the Rangers last played as they beat the Barrie Colts in Game 4 of the OHL Championship. Tonight they play the host team, the Kelowna Rockets. Kelowna will have the home crowd support, but as the host team, they are the only team that isn't a champion in their respective league. The Rockets had an okay regular season, finishing 4th in the Western Conference. Today, the 4 coaches of the Memorial Cups team had a media opportunity, and Rangers coach Jussi Hakos downplaying the Rangers as the tournament favorites.
I wouldn't say that. I think there's 4 really good teams and 3 champions, and 1 really good host team. So I think it'll be, and what I've watched, all the teams are very structured. They play well coached. So I wouldn't say we're the favorites.
So it's a very busy Moose Winooski's here, but probably not yet quite for the Rangers fans who will be coming again. Puck drop isn't until 9. Other locations, Forefathers Brewing, Jack Astor's in Kitchener, and Boston Pizza at Bigamins. Those are all the official host watch parties. Very late games, but very much worth it for the true blue Rangers fans among us. Tony?
All right, thank you very much, Jeff, and we have to wrap it up right there because we are right out of time, so thank you for watching. Ashley and I will be back here tonight at 11:30 with your next local news. And Ash, of course, we're going to keep an eye on that late Rangers game.
You got it. And now, Tony, just a quick note. I think Mother Nature is keeping it cool for the Rangers while they're hot on the ice. So
I love it. Have a great weekend, everyone. We will see you tonight at 11:30 right after the CTV National News. Take care.